We gotta look back at this.
How does he maintain possession?
Jenkins, and that definitely was a little helmet-to-helmet on that hit.
Guys, Meredith Gorman here, and are you still not subscribed to Matt's channel? Well, if you're not, hit the subscribe button because he's giving out free picks each and every week. Hope you have a good rest of your day.
NFL Week 11 is here, guys. I've been looking at 3 games like usual. Steelers versus Browns, big divisional game there. Also another divisional game, Titans versus Jags. And, of course, the big Monday nighter this week, Eagles versus Chiefs. Promotion right now. Promotion alert, guys. This is annually. I do this every year. Black Friday and Thanksgiving. 40% off. 40% off, guys. All sports access package for the month. Okay, it's starting... it started yesterday, technically, going until Friday, next Friday, and you're going to get it all the way up till Christmas. So you're getting more than a month. You're getting a month and a week. This would be the best time to jump on board. If you haven't already, obviously my long-term clients, I do appreciate it. I'll be having a draw for Christmas, so look out for that, a merchandise draw for some sports memorabilia, so look out for that for you guys. But yeah, this is the best time. If you are just a video viewer or have been watching, learn and understand how we beat the sports books long term with a system that I use. You get on the email list, you get detailed reasons on why I like the bet, unit size, weekly updates on each bet. So head over to systemsportscapping.com or link.me/systemcapping for subscription opportunities. Tab is right there for the Black Friday/Thanksgiving offer. Like this video, guys. Like this video. Rate, review if you're on Spotify or Apple Music. If you're listening over there. NFL Week 10 recap. Let's do a recap. Down week for myself and clients after 11-3 run. A nice 11-3 run the past 2 weeks. And it's mainly due to the Bengals, right? Bengals ruined the week in multiple layers for me. They ruined it for me in 2-team money line and a teaser. I had them also in Circa Survivor. Yeah, Circa Survivor has ended at week 10. Fairly happy I got to week 10, but the path, if I got past this week, the path was going to be at least bring me to week 14. Unless there's obviously some crazy upsets. But we were set up perfectly to week 14. Bengals can't get it done. Had chances. Made the comeback. Tied it up with about a minute left. And what happens again? CJ Stroud ruins the day. He carries them down. It's tipped hats. Hat is tipped to CJ Stroud. Very impressive, right? This whole season, right? But the Bengals defense was terrible. You got to get a stop there, right? Boyd dropped that easy catch in the end zone. That was tough too, right? Burrow found Boyd in the end zone, and he just dropped an easy one. So we would have went up 4. That means the Titans would have had to score a touchdown. They get an easy field goal. They win it with their newly signed kicker, and the Bengals lose. Right, 400 or 500 people out of the Survivor there. Frustrating. But if I look back at it, I would have played the Bengals every time. I didn't have a ton of options, right? When you're at week 10, you don't have a ton of options. And I have a -7 ticket on the Bengals were -7. I didn't bet the spread, but they're -7 going into that game. I feel fairly confident with a little concern, right? I had a little concern. I wasn't, oh yeah, the Bengals are going to win this game for sure. You obviously, the CJ Stroud at the back of your head was sitting there, and it ruined it, right? So that's it. No $9 million for me and my client who I partner up with. Big shout out to you if you're listening. We'll go back at it next year. I'm fairly happy getting to week 10, right? There's only about 1,200 people that made it there. But disappointed because I would have probably at least made it to week 14. Then it would have got a little more difficult, but I was set up nicely. So yeah, just some circa millions left on the spreads. Bengals. 2-4 week last week. We did hit some nice tickets though, and I gave this out to you guys as well. 49ers, right? I gave you guys the 49ers last week. The spot was great. Spot was perfect for them. Right? I had a full unit on them for clients, and they rolled the Jags. I didn't think it would be like that. I thought they would win maybe by, a fairly close game. But I expect them to bounce back, and it shows why they're still one of the best teams in the league, guys. Don't write off this team because they lost 3 in a row, right? They needed a bye. They needed to get healthy. They are healthy now, and Purdy looked good, right? Obviously, Purdy was a big reason why they lost those games, but their defense wasn't playing up to par it did in that game. Remember, the Jags were looking great coming into that game, right? Jags are still a really good team. Expect them to bounce back this week. We'll be talking about them here shortly. But that was a very impressive win by the 49ers. We were all over them. I also gave it out to you guys. Hopefully you did tail. We hit the 2 leans on the underdog segment as well for you guys, Vikings and the Raiders. Both one. I'll talk about the underdog here later on. And I hit the under in the Monday Nighter. So that was a nice hit. We also had a couple half units as well. One on Atlanta, one on Seattle. A couple news and notes from last week. 2 of them from last night, Thursday Night Football. Mark Andrews is out for the year, guys. Terrible news. He is very important to this team. Lamar Jackson's favorite target, reliable target, leads the league in touchdowns for tight ends. Very good leadership. Very big loss. These type of losses could go from, your chance of making a deep run in the playoffs, a Super Bowl, to, losing first or second round in the playoffs. Now, they have weapons this year, so I'm not as worried as it would be previous years. If you lose Mark Andrews previous years, you guys are in big trouble. Now they have a lot of weapons on offense, so I get that, but it's still a big loss. And it could affect that big playoff win that the Ravens are looking for. Terrible news for Mark Andrews. Ankle injury. Some say the Wilson tackle was cheap. It looked like it. He looks like he was looking to injure guys on all plays. He also injured Beckham, this Wilson guy, in that game. So, terrible news for the Ravens, Ravens fans, and Mark Andrews. Speedy recovery. Burrow hurt his wrist and couldn't throw. That was wild. Seems like he hurt it pre-game because he had a wrap coming off the bus, and the trucks picked up on that, so good job by the video guys there. It wasn't in-game. He re-hurt it in the game. I think Clowney sacked him, and he re-hurt it there. So that was interesting. Once he went out, no chance that the Bengals were going to win that game, and the Ravens pulled away and won by 14. I don't think they would have won even with Burrow. He wasn't playing great. He had one good drive. But, it would have been a closer game for sure than 14. His backup wasn't terrible, actually. His backup looked okay in that game. But tough news for Burrow. I don't know if he'll be back. I don't think he'll be back this week. But you never know. Watson out for the year. Yes, Deshaun Watson out for the year for the Browns. That's huge news. Huge news. He was playing good in his return, right? He led the drive down to beat the Ravens on the road. That was a big win. And now Cleveland's going to go to the rookie QB, which is a little surprising over P.J. Walker, but that's interesting. Watson out for the year. That's tough blow for the Browns. Bills fire their offensive coordinator. I think it was a good move. They needed a mix up there. They need to change. Let's see how it works this week. I do think the Bills bounce back this week. Fun fact. Leave you guys with a fun fact. I'll do this every week. Usually more of a stat. Did you guys know that the leading passing yard leader from quarterbacks is Sam Howell this year? Sam Howell is leading the league, not too far behind C.J. Stroud, the rookie. Wild, right? Sam Howell has looked good, guys. Even in fantasy, I looked at the other day, he's like 4th overall in fantasy. Sam Howell, yes. And he's probably was on most of you guys' free agent list, right, for fantasy, probably midway through the season. So that's pretty crazy. Fun fact there to leave with you guys. Let's do an update here. Update. 64% on the year. All bets over 14 units. 7 out of 10 profitable weeks. Happy with that. Full updates on all sports. You can check out my UFC video. Let's hear from my friend Kristen before we get into this card.
For you sports bettors out there, let's be honest, you probably need a little bit of help beating those books. System Capping is a proven long-term winner against the sports betting market in multiple sports. He's built a worldwide clientele due to his high winning percentage over the years. Be sure to click the link on the bio down here to check out his profile, and you can also find out his resume, client comments, podcasts, and subscription opportunities. I'm going to be following him along too, so let's win some money together this season.
Shop around. Shop around. Shop around. Have multiple books. I have access to multiple books. Not as important in the NFL, like I stress. You'll see half swings, though. You know, team favored by 7. Another book, 6.5. Total 40 here. Total 41 there. 40.5. So it is important to have multiple books in the NFL as well. Not just the UFC, PGA, etc. Browns, -1 versus Steelers. Total 33. This game is in Cleveland. Battle of 6-3 teams. I did not see either of these teams 6-3 at this time. And they're lucky to be there at 6-3, let's be honest, right? A lot of it is due to their defense. Their defense has carried them. Good coaching as well has helped along the way. It's not like their offenses are really tearing things up. You know, the big news was Watson, right? Out for the year. Got hurt in the game versus the Ravens. But still made the comeback for them and beat them, and he wasn't 100%, right? That's when he got hurt, I think, in the third quarter, maybe fourth, and still won the game for them. Impressive. You know, I got to give him props for that, even though I'm not a Watson fan. Impressive win and comeback. You know, Ravens gave that one away, though, right? They gave Cleveland away, up 14 in the fourth. That's a concern with the Ravens at times. When they're up and have big leads, they don't play well, right? Like to finish the game. They don't play well, and that's what happened. They got caught. They got caught with the Browns. Everything had to go right for them in the fourth, and it did. Steelers won a close one as well, right? Versus the Packers, another game Steelers could have easily lost. However, they play well in close games. Their defense does enough and make that big play, I find, right? And well coached, right? Very, very good coaching staff over there in Pittsburgh, and they just do enough. Right, also tough team to play at home. You know, Steelers are 4-1 against the Browns in their last 5. Keep that in mind, guys. One of those being in Cleveland. So they can win on the road there. You know, Browns are looking for a QB, right? They just announced, I just saw a tweet this morning that they're holding QB tryouts. That's never good. And you know what name came up? Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is going to Cleveland. Guys, to try out. Wild. And that's just not good news for the Browns, right? They know that they don't have a QB right now. All right, they're starting a rookie QB for this game. He looked terrible in his first game against the Ravens. I do think he's going to continue to improve with all the practice over the last 8-9 weeks. You know, I'm not too sure why they're not playing P.J. Walker, who's serviceable. He was winning games with them. He has experience in the NFL. I don't know what happened there. Is he hurt maybe? I don't know, but I've heard that the rookie QB is playing in this game, and he did not look great, guys, right? This game is truly a flip of a coin, I get it. The total is one of the lowest I've ever seen, and I actually wouldn't be surprised if it goes under this 33. Gun to my head, if you ask me, play the total, I actually would play the under 33, guys. if I had to play it. You don't have to play it. And I would be, you know... You have balls, I think, if you play the under total 33 here, but I get it. Rookie QB, 2 very good defenses, right? Cleveland allowing 18 points per game, Steelers 20. Right? Cleveland knows they have to play their best defense to win games moving forward due to the lack of QB now. Right? So I can definitely see this going under. I wouldn't be shocked. It's just hard for me to get to the window, right? You know, 2013 push, 2014 you lose. Is either team going to get to 20 points here? Probably not. Right? I can see like a 17-13 game. Right now it'd stay under. So that's going to be interesting. I'm going to lean the under here. It's going to be a play. If you do tail my leans, which, you know, also do hit more than they don't, I'll probably look at the lean on the under Steelers 33, and I'm going to lean the Steelers here. I will talk a little bit more about them in the underdog section, but guys, rookie QB, I'll mostly always play the other team. You'll get caught once in a while, right? But I'll mostly play the other team when the rookie QB is coming in. This is going to be his second start in the NFL, guys. So I'll have to look at the Steelers here. You can get a +1, play the money line, get a plus 100, plus 105, shop around there. Titans versus Jags, -7 Jags, total 40. Another big divisional game here. The Jags have been, you know, I thought they would kind of run away with this division, but surprises, right? Colts playing a little better than expected, but mainly the Houston Texans are 5-4 in a game off from the Jags, guys. No one saw the Houston Texans being this good. I had them improved. I did talk about them in my yearly breakdown before the season. I did say the Texans will be better, but they had a rookie QB. You didn't think he was going to play this good. right? I have the Houston Texans as a good team in 2 or 3 years, not making this quick of strides. They play Arizona. They're favored by 5. They could win this game and move to 6-4, guys. This is almost, I wouldn't say it's a must-win for the Jags, but very important for the Jags. Very important. Big spot at home versus the rookie QB and Levis. Levis looked great in his debut, but after that, very average. Against the Bucs, he looked terrible. Right? Did not look great. You know, wild stat here, Jags are 1-3 at home this year. You expect that to play out differently, right? You expect that to get back, you know, to winning ways at home, and I expect it to be here. You know, very interesting. They're better on the road this year. Again, they did play 2 games in London. Keep that in mind. So not technically road wins, right? Jags a little different here. I expect them to bounce back, right? Especially after that terrible loss to the 49ers last week, right? 49ers dismantled them. That's a good word to use there. I expect Jags to bounce back. I have them currently in a money line parlay with the Ravens. I got that at plus money. Ravens already won, of course. So I'm hoping Jags just to win on the money line. I think I'm sitting good there. -7, I don't love it. Little concerns what I saw last week. Even though 49ers were going to bounce back. Great spot, terrible spot for Jags. I get it. But the -7 is a little difficult to get to. If you can buy like a half, -6.5, I think that would be the better way. Yeah, I can see Jags even winning a close one. But this is my concern. Tennessee on the road and Tennessee at home is like night and day. Tennessee is terrible on the road, 0-5. At home, 3-0. Titans over the years have always been good at home. Never bet against the Tennessee Titans at home. It's just a system play I have. I rarely do it, if ever. On the road, you want to attack them, right? And we're going to attack them here. Again, I have Jags pending moneyline parlay. You could use them in a teaser this week. It's an option. I lean the -7. You could see a push there. They could win by, I would be surprised if they only win by 3, to be honest. You know, but they can win by 5, 6, 7 points very easily. But I think Jags bounce back here, win maybe by 10 or more. So I lean the -7. Buy a half just in case, right? 6.5. You're not going to pay too much. 20 cents, right? So it's not that bad. I would lean the Jags -7. I'm sitting nicely with the money line play. Total looks a little low, but you're banking on, you know, Titans to score. Jags are going to put 20 plus up, in my opinion. But now can the Titans hold their end of the bargain, right? That's why. Like, you could see them only scoring 10 points. Right? 10, 13 points, and then the total probably doesn't get there. I don't think Jags will score 30 plus. They could. And if they do, right? If Jags are 28 plus, you're feeling good. Right? 24-10 won't do it. You know, if Jags are in the high 20s, low 30s, I think this will go over. Very possible, right? We know the Tennessee defense is not great. Monday nighter. What a good game we have here, right? Game of the week. Bengals-Ravens, I think, was right up there as well, but this is a better game. This is a Super Bowl rematch, right? Prime time. You got to have it on prime time when these two play. Both coming off a bye, too. So we should see the best Chiefs, the best Eagles team, right? I'm very excited for this game. And it's two teams that look a little different this year, right? Eagles at 8-1, and they still haven't played their best game or a great game. I argue the Miami game was great, and I wouldn't say the Dallas game was great. They had some bad turnovers late. I do think Dallas could have came back and won that game. I think it was a good game. Anytime you beat Dallas, it's a good game, but it wasn't great. Miami was very close to great. You held their offense to 17 points. Right? So anytime you're holding that offense to 17 points, I think you were great. So Eagles, again, 8-1 is very impressive, and they still haven't played a great game. A lot to say about that, and that's a good thing for the Eagles. You want to play your best football at the end of the year, right? Schedule gets a lot harder for the Eagles, so keep that in mind here, right? Keep that in mind. Your Chiefs at home here, but they're 7-2, still great record. Haven't played their best football coming off a tough loss to Denver. This isn't the same team we're used to, the high-powered offense, guys. It's a more defensive team this year. Guys, they're allowing 15.9 points per game, which is tied with the Ravens at the top of the league. Their defense has been incredible this year. Usually it's their scoring, right? Top of the league. 27 points per game, etc. This year, 13th in the NFL, guys. 13th in the NFL in points. So this team has looked different, right? Lack of weapons at wide receiver is the main reason, right? Kelsey can't do everything, right? Lacks a weapon. Their run game is good. It's not great, right? Going to struggle versus Eagles to run the ball. Eagles are leading the league in yards allowed against the run. I think that was opposite last year, right? Last year they weren't great against the run. This year they're leading the league against the run. Not great numbers in the secondary, though. Right? Not great numbers. Also against points allowed, it's 17th. Almost 22 points they're allowing per game. That's not great. But they always make up for it with scoring, right? They can score points. But may struggle against his Chiefs defense, especially on the road. That's why I'm going to lean the Chiefs here. I'm going to lean the Chiefs minus 2.5. I think they get it done. Fun fact here, KC's won 4 straight versus the Eagles. Maybe have their number, right? Maybe have this team's number. And I do expect them to bounce back after that ugly Denver game. You know, Eagles got to start losing games too, right? They're 8-1. Tough schedule ahead. I think they lose a couple on this streak, on this stretch here. So yeah, I'm going to lean the Chiefs minus 2.5. Could make my client card this weekend. It's not always, it's not a profitable thing long term to bet against the Eagles. I rarely do it. I think it's a good spot for the Chiefs here though. Total 45.5. Tough. Lean over, but I'm not going to bet it. Like I mentioned, the Chiefs defense, a lot better this year. They're not putting up a ton of points like they're used to. You saw what happened in the Super Bowl, though, right? Hit lots of points with these two teams. This Chiefs defense looks a little different from that Super Bowl team, like I mentioned, their defense. So staying away from the total here, but I lean the over and the Chiefs minus 2.5. Underdogs. Hopefully you tailed what I gave out last week, guys. Even though they were leans, but the Raiders moved to plus money, plus 105. So hopefully you tailed that. Hopefully you did get that plus 105. I'm going to count that due to giving out the Vikings and Raiders. Vikings lean. I gave out, they won, and I gave out the Raiders. That counts as one there, guys. 12-4 on the year. Free play underdogs. This week, it's going to be a smaller one this week. We're going to go to Steelers. I talked about it at the top. Not going to go in detail again. You can get that at plus 100, plus 105 around the market shop around for best price. Everything I talked about in the breakdown. I don't really like anyone else. Vikings again, maybe. But Steelers, we're going to play them here. On the road, scary a little bit. Don't love this Steelers team. But that's my favorite this week. We'll make it official. Let's move to 13-4. That'd be huge. Teaser. Bengals ruined it last week for us. This week, more good options, right? Washington, minus 2.5, minus 3. You can get out there. They should beat the Giants with the veto. Lions, just a win versus Bears. A great option as well. I'll give you both of those. I do have another one pending for clients. Guys, again, package available for the whole month. 40% off. Black Friday, Thanksgiving. This is the time to get on board. Hopefully pay for your Christmas, your travels, your gifts, etc. with this month package. Like I always say, guys, bet smart and know your limits. Take care.